Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey,
I am Rungren.
and we've got a show this week. I'm going to tell you straight up at the top of the show, we don't have a lot on the docket, but we do have some really weird news topics for if we have time. So we're prepared. There will still be a show today.
We're going to talk about something.
Yeah, I barely dodged food poisoning,
Ugh.
and so I'm okay. But it's been a weird week, and I'm gonna warn you ahead of time. Most of the stuff that I cared about this week got some kind of negative updates or some troubling updates, and so my mood is a little bit more down. But we're gonna pull it back up. Don't worry. And to start off with that, I want to announce that we are 8 subs away from 1,000 on YouTube.
Yes.
So,
That is awesome. So please, if you could give us a
yes.
subscribe, like, comment, it'll help us out. It's
Super appreciate it.
We all know it's an algorithm thing by this point.
Mhm. We really
So
appreciate
help
it for
us.
sure.
Absolutely.
And then the other big announcement, of course, is that we've got a lot of cool stuff coming up. One of the big things that I wanted to announce is that I came up with a new series that I want to do on the channel. And I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, viewers, but I'm very excited for it. And I'll be recording the first one of those tomorrow. So
Okay.
look forward to that. Hopefully it'll go up Thursday. Oh, you need to make 8 accounts then. I'm not saying do it. I'm just, but yeah, I'm
Well, if
very
you need
excited.
one for business and personal, then maybe one for cousins.
Yeah, that's right. If you have guests come over, it's like on PlayStation. You have your account that's
Guest
connected to
accounts,
PSN.
yes.
Then you have the other ones you make so people can play. So
Are we still on? Are we still
before I
on?
beg for any more subs, how's your week been, Ruger?
Oh man, it's been a little bit weird. I kind of been a nervous wreck through the week because on Sunday, the album went live
Yes.
on, so you can find that on Spotify, or like, if it streams music, you can probably find it.
I have
Like
some links for you, and I'll put them in the description as well. This is the Spotify link on
Nice.
YouTube. That
Thank
is
you.
the description. Not there's no description here
Oh yeah, yeah.
on YouTube.
Well, there, but yeah, if it streams music, you can probably find it. Be Rungren, the album Strange Journey. You're not supposed to. I know all the advice I saw was like, don't put it out on an album. I was like, well, I want to put out an album.
Yeah.
All the songs that go there. Anyway, it goes through. So it goes live. So I was like nervous all week. I don't know about it and everything. And now I'm like on the other side of it, and I've got the next song for the next album is done. They'll go out Sunday. But I've got to figure out something to do for a video on it, because I want to try. I satisfied for what I did with the albums that I put out, right?
Yeah.
Or the songs that I put out. I just put the background on it. I think I did. I tested it out, and I got it one lyric video. But yeah, I want to do something more with that. I just haven't quite figured out yet. So I'm gonna try to shoot like an actual music video, and just instead of relying at the the wonderful artists at Pexels, because that's where I got that. And look, the not sponsored or anything by them. It's just that's where I got the art.
Yeah,
it was free, and these people put it up and said, "Hey, go for it. Don't worry about it. Just use it."
Yeah, why not?
Right. So I know it's cool. So that anyway. So my week's kind of spent a little bit nervous, and then playing. I got to play a lot. I did play a lot of Lord of the Rings though.
Yeah.
And it went through and finished up the last epic quests to Gundabad. Yeah, it was heavy. I'm a little too invested. I haven't got back on until I finished it. I think I mentioned to you last time I talked to you, but when I was listening, I got to the end of it, and you get something you can go put out in your yard, and I went and put it over on one side of the yard facing west, and then I went over to the east side of the island, sat down, and logged out.
Yep.
It's like I have feelings.
Yep. And that's good. When a game can do that to you, that's incredible.
Oh, I love the story.
There's a single place in FF14 that if you pass by there, you have to stop there because of that.
There's I think that's another one of maybe the weaknesses to it from a selling point is it's a story.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reading. I mean, it's a novel MMO,
Well, it's not like I have an experience with a series that has that same problem and
Yeah.
is very niche. Trails.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're gonna
no,
have
I get it.
lots of story.
I get it for
Other than
sure.
that, playing guitar, trying to come up with something new, messing with some new music and stuff.
Yeah.
I gotta I'm gonna get this PS4 hooked up back here.
Yeah.
Yeah, start playing through some of these games I got
Nice.
from you. But that'll probably coming up in the next week or two.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that kind of encompassed my week. There wasn't really that much to it.
I got you.
It was just stressful than playing a game I love. So I wouldn't think about being stressed about it.
I understand. I understand. Well,
So,
my week
spend the week
started
coping.
with the goat. We got a goat update here. Crumbs is doing great. He is finally able to eat on his own. So I don't have to get up every 2 hours and feed him. Which is wonderful. He's finally able to walk on his own now, actually on his feet instead of on his legs, and he's doing great. He's running around. He's making it. I'm very excited for him to continue to grow. And at one point, maybe I'll bring him in and do a video with him. It's going to be very short, I'm sure, because he will absolutely poop in this room. But he's a sweetheart.
Yeah,
he's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
And then I played some more Guild Wars 2. I have found an incredibly friendly community in that game that has been really supportive here on YouTube. I say here, we're on Twitch right now, but you know what I mean.
Wherever you are, we're there.
Yeah. The community's great, and the gameplay's still really fun. I've unlocked a new set of subsystems, and I want to do a full video on this set of subsystems, but I unlocked stances, basically, is what it is, where you can spend your points that you get from leveling up to get new stuff, which is what I was doing. I was getting new turrets, right? But a different option instead of turrets was kits. And you equip this kit, and you get a brand new toolbar, a brand new taskbar, basically, with all different abilities. And one of them, and there's 7 of these, basically.
That's cool.
That you can flip between for free. It has no recast. You can just flip, and you have a full different set of moves for each one. One of them is a flamethrower.
Yeah. Guild War 2 is a flamethrower?
Yeah, you want to see that video go up? I cannot believe, despite all the comments we got on that first and that second Guild Wars video, nobody ever said I could get a flamethrower. Flamethrower's really good. I put out a couple cheeky tweets that were Guild Wars 2 is a great game because it lets me have a flamethrower and an orbital strike, and then immediately followed up with FF14 is a great game because it lets me have a flamethrower and an orbital strike. And all I'm saying is, Lotro, you're up next. Give me a flamethrower and an orbital strike, and we're good. But,
I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. It won't happen.
But no, Guild Wars 2 is a great game. The further I get into it, the more that I recognize how good it is, and the more that I wish the new player experience was a little better.
Yeah, I think that's something a lot of MMOs are going to they have to go back and fix that. Lotra's doing that a little bit. Now, I've heard rumors that's something Guild War 2 wants to do. I don't know if that's come across or anything.
They haven't said what they're fixing yet, but the big one that most people think it's going to be is taking the personal story that you get at level 1, level 10, and level 20, and level 30, and spreading that out instead. Because those personal stories are great, and they're different even in the same race, depending on what choices you make at the start. But until you get those level tiers, you just don't have any more story to do, and it's kind of a problem. It's the players. They're fixing the players. I mean, it's a very good game, and I'm going to be making a lot more content on it, I'm sure. And then still want to get back into Lotro, make some content on that as well, because really excited for all that free stuff.
It's going to be a couple of months. We're in the March. We're in the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So there'll be another producer's letter here in a couple of months, and I'm really hoping for the
graphical update.
Yeah, some updates on the graphic update, or at least the back end hardware, which I don't know if they would actually put that out in a letter.
Right.
Because
That's kind of what I'm waiting on, is knowing when that's happening. Because if it's gonna happen soon, I'll wait to play it till then.
right,
But if it's not, then I'll just go ahead and start.
yeah, I don't know that. I can't say that as secret as are about it and what soon means after 15 years in forums and everything like that.
Yeah.
I my actual prediction for it is, and I'm hopeful. My actual one is in November. We will get an idea
Yeah.
of when that's going to go in, and then it'll probably be the year after that.
Right.
Of course, soon could be 2024, but I don't
Yeah,
think they're
for
going
all
to
we
wait that
know.
long.
For sure. The other thing that I've been playing this week is Super Robot Wars 30 got the expansion pass the expansion pack that added in some new suits, and so I've dipped my toes back into that. And Ultimate Dankuga is incredible, and as soon as I get Getter Devolution, I'll be making a video on it because I'll put it this way: you have like ace units, right? And if you give them the ability Proud Ace, they get their ace ability power up as soon as they get to 50 kills, right? So obviously I had a lot of aces already. I'm on playthrough 2. Dankuga is my third best unit right now. And I've had it for like 7 maps.
Wow.
That's how much I love it. I have pumped it up so much. That unit is incredible. Oh, they know. They know.
Okay. Well, I was just wondering that they set it up like shock troops.
Sort of. It's kind of like they went. Oh, go ahead.
I was just wondering, is it like a lot, like lots of damage? Just blam, they blast through stuff. Yeah.
It's really strong, but has high energy cost. But it's one of those things of like, hey, depending on what route you take, you might not have a big heavy hitter to be able to put out the damage when you need it. So here's Dankuga. Sure, yeah, all right, let's go. But no, it's been a very fun DLC pack so far. My favorite thing about it is the fact that they actually add in dialogue. So characters that wouldn't have been there before now can talk to, like Shinobu from Dankuga will have comments to make, or you'll have some of the other various characters like Ultraman will make comments during the Majestic Prince stuff, even though he shouldn't have been there before. It's just really nice to have that extra touch, and it makes it feel cohesive instead of just DLC.
Oh, fair. Yeah. Well, it does. So it doesn't feel like you've got like a. I'm trying to think of an example, but you know how you go through the main game, they give you DLC, and then it's not meshed with the main game.
Right.
You go play a separate mini game that's kind of using the same controls.
Right. Whereas this all ties in a really cool way.
That's good. That's cool.
And then the last thing for my week is I built some Kill Team Nachman stuff. And I've got it here to show you. I have to be very careful with this because I built a little bit of the terrain and the rest of the Legionary squad.
Oh my gosh.
And this terrain is pretty dang cool, I think. Got a little door open.
Oh, wow. Very nice.
It's bleeding into the logo, but... And then, of course, the squad up top.
Interesting.
Rocket launchers and chain guns and
that is really cool, man.
Axes. Yeah, I'm really happy with how they turned out. I do want to highlight a couple of these guys though. This guy's the Icon Bear. Let me put this giant thing down. My lighting's a little worse because this giant thing was in the way to be able to have it in reach for one of the lights. So I'll move it after this segment.
That comes a little bit clearer.
And then this guy is the Butcher.
Yeah.
He's got a big axe.
Let's see that helmet.
Spirit
magic helmet.
That's how it's worked in the past, but it's not doing it now.
Ain't no like you today.
There it goes.
Oh, little skulls on the end there?
Yeah.
Very nice.
And then the last one I want to show off here is the guy with the massive chain gun.
The butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. There he is right there.
That's right.
That's a big candlestick he's carrying. Right there.
Yeah, they're really cool. I'm excited to play with them because they're really cool in that you get to choose which chaos god they worship. So each game you use them in, they can have different abilities. Don't fall, guys. Okay, there we go. All right, now I can turn this light on. That'll help. But yeah, that's been my week.
Very nice, sir. Very nice. Well, I see here on this official document that I'm required to read. we got no reviews for the week.
Yeah, we'll have some reviews next week because that's when the Nintendo Switch Sports stuff comes out.
Okay.
But until then, we're still stuck with, and it'll probably be dry for a little bit after that too. But we do have
want
some
Christmas money.
announcements. That's right. Our first big announcement is Sonic Origins, which is it's a cool thing, right? Sonic Origins. It's hey, you want to be able to play the first couple Sonic games and be able to get them all on the same pack.
Yeah.
However, what version of Sonic Origins do you want? Let me pull up the full list here so we can make sure that we have all the games.
Look, we've had just moments in life when people have had a realization as they look back over the Sonic games, and just they got origins, right?
Yep.
And they look at me and they're like, Sonic, some of that story is kind of weird. Like,
yep.
Yes, it is.
Yep. So Sonic Origins, to clarify, is Sonic the Hedgehog the original, Sonic the Hedgehog CD, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. Those are the 4 games included in this. It'll have anniversary mode, play the old games in a new format in a full 16:9 aspect ratio with infinite lives. No continues, you just can keep going forever. Classic mode lets you play it the old way, 4:3 aspect ratio. Boss rush mode, story mode, where you take control of Sonic and play through all the games in chronological order with new cinematic animated cutscenes. Mirror mode, where you flip the zones from left to right, complete them opposite style. And a mission mode, where you can do specific difficult tasks to earn achievements. All sounds great, right?
That's a lot.
Yeah. What version you want?
What you mean? I want the Sonic Origins pack.
Yeah.
With all the Sonic games.
The Sonic Origins pack with all the Sonic games is digital only.
Okay.
And the main version comes with the standard edition, comes with the game. And if you pre-order it, you get 100 bonus coins and mirror mode unlocked at the start. You don't have to unlock it in the game. And then you get a letterbox background, and that's $39.99.
That's the lowest price, right?
Right. Or you can get the Start Dash pack.
Okay.
Which does not come with the main game. Comes with the 100 bonus coins, the mirror mode unlocked, and the letterbox background. Or you can get the Premium Fun Pack, which doesn't come with the main game or the bonus coins or the mirror mode, but does come with hard missions, the letterbox background, character animation in the main menu, camera controls over the main menu island, character animations during music islands. There's also the classic music pack, which comes with nothing but the additional music tracks from the Mega Drive and the Genesis, which none of the other ones up to this point have come with. Or you can get the Digital Deluxe Edition, which you would think comes with everything, right? $44.99, $5 more, but it doesn't come with everything. It comes with the game, it comes with hard missions, and it comes with character animations, camera controls, and additional music. But you still have to pre-order if you want the 100 bonus coins, the mirror mode unlocked from the get-go, and the letterbox background. Or you have to buy the Digital Deluxe version and the Start Dash pack.
It's insane. Oh my gosh.
What is going on? Who thought this was a good idea?
How confusing can we make this? Like, come on. You've made those money off all those games. Now, look, the new animation's awesome. And playing through all the games in chronological order.
Oh, that's so cool.
And having like a cut scene that made, like takes you between the two games. That's awesome. Would love that.
But why
the
make
whole
it
story
so complicated?
And just it's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. That's oh my gosh.
Oh, oh. I don't get it. I just want to play the game. I don't want.
I know somebody's gonna be like, it's not complicated.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
just this and this and this, and then recite everything back. But no, it's kind of silly.
Watch it come to Game Pass with everything.
Oh man.
This is coming June 23rd, by the way. So if you want all that pre-purchase DLC, you can buy it now.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's a thing. We did have another announcement too, which is a new Tales from the Borderlands is being made.
Well,
Coming in 2022, sometime this year. That's all we know.
that's it.
New adventures, new characters, new tales is what they say. So,
Yeah.
people that love Tales from Borderlands, there you go. Now, to clarify, it's not being made by Telltale. It's being made by Gearbox.
Well, Telltale's not Telltale anymore,
Right.
right? And
Yes.
defunct.
They're
Okay.
still Telltale, but they're a different company now using that name.
Right. Yeah. Not defunct. They're still around.
So Gearbox is making this themselves. We'll
Okay.
see how that goes.
All right.
I don't have the most faith in Gearbox, but you know.
Well,
Moving into
yes.
the news, we have some interesting things. There was a D&D Direct,
Yes, there was.
which you and I talked about sometime past. Everybody should just do Directs because it's easier and better. And
Yes.
it's true. This one was great.
Yeah. Thank you. Gave me all the information I needed. Appreciate it.
We talked about the changes coming to D&D on the D&D podcast. So go back and watch that. I'll put a link in the description if you're curious about that stuff on the YouTube side. But it was last Thursday's podcast if you're looking on the Twitch side. But there was some stuff that wasn't specifically for the tabletop game, so we wanted to go ahead and cover that stuff here. I'm going to sneeze in a moment. I know it's coming. I just don't know when. But I hate this feeling. I'm just going to do this.
That's awful. He disappeared.
There we
Well,
go.
D&D. All right, got it?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. All right, no problem. Here we go.
The first big one is there's going to be a Dragonlance board game being made, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I want to play that for sure. This is being made with Rob Deviao and Stephen Baker, and it will be integrated with the tabletop Dragonlance stuff that's coming, in that it will feed off that same information from that book. So you can play the board game without that book, but if you get that book, it will enrich the experience.
Funny how more money does that.
Right. They also specified that they want to zero in on the notion that Dragonlance is a war story and say that classic Dragonlance is set against the backdrop of this massive conflict. These sorts of massive military battles are an important part of this board game as well.
Yeah, I wish they'd have let the originators who put out Spelljammer and Dragonlance. I wish they'd have, let them. They found out on Twitter.
Right. Let them know
It's
ahead of
coming
time.
out.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Talk to them a little, maybe. Just, get them involved. What can you do? We also got a Dungeons and Dragons movie is in the works.
Look, you talk about stuff not having much faith in.
This was called Honor Among Thieves.
Look, the greatest D&D on media is a cartoon from the 80s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really funny to me when the Dungeon Siege movie winds up being a better D&D movie than D&D movies.
Yeah.
And it's not a Dungeon Siege movie. It's called a Dungeon Siege movie, but it's not. And The Name of the King is a great D&D movie. No, it's something. The movie's set to be released March 3rd, 2023. It stars Chris Pine, Hugh Grant, Sophia Lillis, Michelle Rodriguez, Justice Smith, and I do not know how to pronounce this name. I'm gonna see if I can get Google to pronounce it for me real quick before I horribly mess up here. Hold on.
Butcher it. I don't know. So okay, maybe if they just make a really good fantasy movie and slap D&D on it. Okay?
I got
Yeah.
it. It's Reggae Jean Page. English actor.
All right. Very nice.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'll give it a shot. I'll watch it.
Right.
I'll watch it. But
it's written and directed by John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein. And Goldstein says it's a dream come true to bring the Forgotten Realms and the Sword Coast to life.
okay, well, let's see what happens.
Let's
Well,
see.
you know, it obviously can be done, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, it's made me really cool. So I just hope it comes out that way. And look, man, honestly, you can go as D&D. You know,
Right.
it's a little. It's not. Like Lord of the Rings or Narnia or stuff where you've got this historic, already set precedence. This is D&D. You can
Right.
go anywhere
Mhm.
and do anything, just about. So
What is
I
the
hope we can have fun with it.
over-under? What is the over-under of this movie? Right towards the end, they cut to the table where the players are at and have an interpersonal conflict that changes the game state.
I think if they do that, we're gonna take a ride with the players through the movie,
Yeah.
and the video. But I think they may. I think they may step away from that.
I hope so, because here's my prediction right now. We get close to the big battle, somebody dies, and then we hear a voice we've never heard before, and we cut to the table where the person's like,
Yeah.
you didn't even let me roll a death save. What do you mean I'm dead? Calling it
Yeah.
now.
Okay, I could see it happening, but I think that would be something that actually happens at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, that'd be way better instead of waiting until right at the end to do that.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, man, it's like I said, it's a D&D movie.
Yeah.
And look, just go back and watch. Just go back and watch the D&D movies.
Yeah.
They're not good.
No, they're not. They're not.
And look, Mazes and Monsters not a D&D movie, okay? I realize it's. I don't know if Tom Hanks ever played D&D.
Oh, man. There was some Baldur's Gate stuff that came up as well. The big thing is Baldur's Gate 3 is getting some more story. I'm really torn on this because I don't think it really was a good trailer for that stuff. It didn't really tell me exactly what was going on, and I didn't think it was necessarily super interesting.
No, they just made whatever they showed from that part of it.
Yeah.
That was one part of it. They made sure whatever they showed was just absolutely stunning.
Yes.
And it did. It looked absolutely stunning.
Right.
But yeah, there's nothing. There was no. That probably got the least amount of information.
Yeah.
Out of everything that was on that podcast. Or
The
that
only
direct,
real big news, I guess, is that the game's also officially leaving early access and being released next year.
Yes.
But we didn't even get an actual date for that. It's just 2023. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I hope so, because I liked that game a lot, but it had some really rough bugs when it launched, and that's why I haven't gone back. I'm waiting for the full release.
Yeah. It really had a rough start there. It got tore apart.
Yeah.
There for a little bit.
I spent nearly 45 minutes in my first impressions video, was having a blast. Got into the first major big combat encounter, and the game froze, crashed my computer, blue screened me, and then when I booted it back up again, had saved nothing from the last 45 minutes. And I was like, you know what?
Nothing.
I'm just gonna wait. We're good. But that was the big stuff from the D&D Direct. Again, if you want to hear the rest of that, we talked about it Thursday show. For that. Then we have an announcement of an announcement. Yakuza Super Talk is going to be April 29th. Which is what? What's today? The 26th, so 3 days from now?
Yeah.
Hopefully this will be news about the future of the series, and hopefully we'll finally have our confirmation on what's going to happen with Judgment. For anybody who doesn't remember, the Judgment series, the Judge Eyes series in Japan, had been under pretty heavy problems, I guess is the way to start word it, because one of the studios, the studio for the main actor that plays Yagami, decided that they didn't like that his likeness was being used in memes. And so they no longer wanted to allow him to be in the games. And we don't know publicly what happened with that. It's still been on the down low. It's still been held quietly and private. So we might not ever. Yeah.
We won't know. You know that. We won't know. Either he's appeared, he's there, and nothing's happened.
Everything moves on.
Yeah, or you don't, is just not in the games anymore. I mean,
right.
And then, I doubt, I would be surprised if we ever got any kind of,
right.
Yeah, this is what happened.
The most would probably just be, we've found a solution, or we've come to terms.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll find out that, if there's going to be any more of those games. And then we'll probably get some news on Yakuza 8, I would assume. But
which is not the 8th game.
But... Right. No, it's not. It's the 10th game?
I thought it was a little bit higher than that.
Well, because if we count Kiwami 2 and Kiwami 3 as separate from 1, 2, and 3, because they're remakes, then that makes it the 14th game.
That was so close to what I was thinking.
Yeah. So, it's just an announcement of an announcement. We don't really know anything else. And speaking of announcements, Warhammer Fest is going to be May 4th to May 7th. And they're going to be announcing stuff there.
I'm sure they are.
The cool thing about this to me is that normally they do announcements as in, like, here's a little bit for this. Here's a little bit for 40K. Here's a little bit for Kill Team. Here's a little bit for Age of Sigmar. Here's a little bit for Necromunda. And instead, this time they're going, hey, the first day is just 40K. The second day is just Age of Sigmar. The third day is just Horus Heresy. And the fourth day is going to be Kill Team, Warcry, and Necromunda, the smaller games. So,
man, are that many people playing now?
Yeah. It is brought back up into like big numbers. Small tournaments for a little while because of, the things going on around the world were like 5 to 10 people slot wise. Small tournaments now are back up to 40 people. Big tournaments have 300 plus players.
So are you going to do a video on the Henry Cavill effect?
We're going to have to, honestly, because that's what happened really is big names started playing and being open about it. And then restrictions released in a lot of places. And people went, hey, I've had all this time stuck at home where I've just been building and painting stuff I've had in the closet for years. Now I'm going to use it,
Right.
So it's pretty cool. I'm excited for the announcements. But more Warhammer news coming in a minute. That's not going to be as exciting. But speaking of exciting, Valheim has sold over 10 million copies.
Dun, 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 dun. That's very nice.
And this, like, what's crazy about this to me is we don't talk about Valheim very often, right? It kind of fell out of popularity in a lot of ways, as all games do eventually. But this game's still in early access, and it hasn't had a lot of updates. The updates kind of chugged.
Yeah, but it got an update
very recently.
Very recently. We talked about it. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of when it was.
I think it was like a month ago now.
Okay. A few episodes back, we talked about it. In the news that they
Heart and Home Part 2, I think is what that update was called.
Okay.
And people have flocked back to it, and it's doing great. I'm glad to hear it because it's a really fun game, but the dev team was struggling a little bit, and so all these new purchases hopefully will give them what they need.
Yeah. Wow.
Can you see, chat, why we said we didn't have a lot of news this week? Because
yeah.
We're burning through it. Elden Ring has a new mod that is pretty dang cool. How would you like to play Elden Ring in VR?
Boy, that'd bring a whole new perspective.
Yep. The challenge, of course, is rolling, because VR games don't let you do that, right? VR games also don't let you move freely, I guess is the right term. Most VR games have you teleport steps instead. And
Right.
that's fine. I get why. But this mod has been meticulously made to allow you to move while keeping your head at the same level, so that the vision matches the level your head is at. It doesn't move as you go up and down elevation.
Wow.
It's going to take a little bit of getting used to, I'm sure, because you're going to have moments where you're going up steps and your brain's going to go, why is the world not going up? But it means that you can roll and jump in fluid motion without getting sick.
Very important.
Super important. So it looks really cool. Honestly, I don't know that I would ever do like a full playthrough in VR, but it would be really cool to pop in VR and just like look around.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Some of the games that try to port over VR have been terrible.
Yeah.
They just have not worked.
Yeah.
Or like a couple of aspects will work, but it just really doesn't.
Right. And Elden Ring is one of those games where, hey, you got to be on your P's and Q's there. If the VR mode gets the best of you and you start puking in the middle of a boss fight, you're dead there. So we'll see how that goes. But honestly, I'm more excited to watch people play it, like see weird YouTube videos of people trying to play it.
Right. They're coming. They are coming.
I'm waiting for the stands on a stack of P's and Q's. There you go. I'm waiting for the video that is, because there was a guy that I think his name is like Little Aggie, who did Dark Souls 3 with a broken straight sword, where he had it modded to work with a Wii controller, and he strapped the Wii controller to a broken sword and had to actually swing. And so I'm waiting for the VR mod where you actually have the broken and you had to try and swing while you're in VR.
Oh. So it's like, I think there's some games that shouldn't go to VR though.
I agree.
Like I don't know about Hitman VR. Or I tell you what, man, Manhunt should have never went to the Wii.
I agree.
That game should never have motion controls.
Oh man. I think my favorite is Super Hot VR. And I'm gonna bring up Spoiler Lubu. Because Spoiler Lubu is up, and I'm gonna change this to Super Hot VR so everybody can see it. This is your chance to know you're about to be spoiled. At the end of Super Hot, you have to shoot yourself. Which means in VR, you have to shoot yourself. And it is it's something, man. Like, you know it's a video game, but it's still it feels a lot harder than it should be. So yeah, that's
yeah. Just so yeah, Elden Ring coming to VR. They're gonna have a mod for VR.
Yeah, it's cool. This next part is not cool. And it's probably where things are going to start slowing down here on the podcast. Because I love Warhammer Combat Cards. I really do. I play this game every day. But Warhammer Combat Cards, Warhammer 40k Combat Cards, just came out with a new update where they changed the economy. In their own words, they changed the economy. The first of many updates, they have since said.
Yeah.
They removed the free pack and the free coin pack. So let me set the stage for this. The way this game has worked for the last couple years is every 12 hours, you're able to watch an ad to get 100 free coins. And you use these coins to upgrade your cards. And sometimes, as you collect cards from your packs, right, it takes a certain number to upgrade to the next tier. And sometimes your cards will take 2 cards, 4 cards, and in the higher upgrades, sometimes it takes like 16 cards, 32 cards, right? But it also costs gold. And first off, that gold is like 24 gold, 12 gold. And eventually it gets up to the point where it's like, hey, it's going to cost like 80 gold to upgrade this card.
Man.
So getting 100 free coins every 12 hours on top of what you already get from, you know, your free pack And your kill pack is pretty good.
Right.
It adds up. At one point, I had 2,000 coins because I'd been waiting to upgrade cards, and then upgraded a bunch of cards in one sweep, and it was really satisfying. And I could tell the difference in my gameplay. It was every 12 hours, yeah. You also would get a free pack every 8 hours, and you could watch an ad to get an ad pack every 8 hours, and you would get coins that way. And then you could get your kill pack every 12 hours, and get coins that way too by beating other cards, by playing the game, right? So on average, you would get anywhere from like 400 to 500 coins a day. 400 is a little high, like 350 to 400, right? A day.
Yeah.
They removed the coin pack and removed the free pack, and they upped the cards in the kill pack, the coins you get in the kill pack. And they changed the ad pack to be every 4 hours.
Okay.
So you have to log in every 4 hours to be able to get a lower number of coins than you were getting before. So remember I said on average like 350, right?
Yeah.
Because you get different amounts of coins. It's random how many coins you get, but it's within a tier, right? Now I got in the first day of playing like 260 coins. Because I missed one of the 4-hour logins.
This is not a balance issue.
It's just on the economy. Hasn't affected the cards at all. Although I guess people that pay money to get coins will be able to upgrade their cards more efficiently and will be able to be higher in ranked.
Yeah, so I was wondering if there was a big enough distinction between those that were putting money in and those that weren't.
There is, unfortunately, because the better upgraded your card is, the more health it has, the more damage it does. But when everybody was getting a bunch of coins free every day, I mean, think about it. If you don't even play that day, you only log in once, and you get 100 free coins from the coin pack, and then you get another 60 coins from the other 3 packs. And that's the only time you play all day. You got 160 coins for basically doing nothing, right?
Yeah.
Whereas now, you have to log in every 4 hours. I'm not going to get up in the middle of the night to be able to get the same amount of coins I was getting before.
See, what stinks about this is somebody's going to be running a macro.
I'm sure.
To open it up, hit what it needs to hit, and then close it.
Absolutely. And like, I'm level 60 in this game now. I'm at captain rank. I am 1 rank away from the top rank. Right? I am there. It cost me 120 coins to upgrade most of my good cards. I will not put money in. And I have made the decision. I booted it once today, and I didn't watch the ad to get the ad pack.
So there.
Because I can't support this, right?
Yeah.
I'm probably going to stop playing altogether till they fix this. But the thing is, they put out a statement 10 hours ago, and the statement was basically, hey, we understand you're not happy. We're working on it. And this is just one of many pack changes, updates. So just hold on. Instead of saying, hey, yeah, we get it. We understand why you're upset. We're going to see how we're going to fix this. It really feels like they just went, yeah, just try it, see, because we upped things. They changed the drop rate for cards so that you can get better cards more often. But all that means is you're going to get cards that cost more coins to update or upgrade more often while still getting less coins. So you're going to have to pay money if you want to be able to upgrade all those cards.
Well, I mean, that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And right there,
I wouldn't be mad if it was that way from the start.
Right.
But to do this 2-3 years into the game, just really, especially when it's been on an uptick. It just, and they knew, they had to know. I would love, by the way, I have talked to the Well Played Games devs a couple times on Twitter and on Twitch. If any of you would like to come on and talk about this, please do. But I'm going to sit here and say with full confidence that you had to know how people were going to react to this, because the same day that you announced you were working on fixing it, you announced, hey, Imperial Knights are coming to the game. Yeah! Just come on now. What are you doing? So if anybody knows a good card game to play on mobile, let me know, because
I'm sure there's a couple.
I can't play my Blood Angels in it, but
Well,
I also can't get any higher ranked with my Blood Angels because my cards need to be further upgraded. So,
yep.
guess what?
Well,
Speaking of ridiculous,
yes.
do you love FF6, Rundgren?
Yeah.
Do you love Terra from FF6? How do you feel about that opening where Terra is in the Magitech armor?
I'm going back to when that came out and when I played. I'm trying to remember what system it was on. Was it? Have they upgraded systems yet?
It was the SNES. The SNES is what it was available on.
It was the
Yeah.
Super Nintendo. Yeah. Okay.
And it's the opening where the Magitech armors, the three of them are walking into the snow, and the music's going da 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 da.
Yeah.
Yeah. You love that scene, right? Everybody does.
Yeah. And then you get into the tunnels, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you love it? $11,594 much?
No.
So, yen-wise, this thing is 1,485,000 yen, which roughly translates to 11,594 US dollars. But that's before shipping. It's a really tall statue. It's 34 kilograms and 78 centimeters tall. It's beautiful.
I'm sure it is.
But
it says Final Fantasy, so it's really expensive. They did that. Look, they did the same thing. We had like that guitar looked cool.
Yep, it sure did. It sure did.
But I had some things to point out about it, and it's just nowhere near worth that price as far as an instrument.
Right.
You know, it might be worth it to you for the Final Fantasy part of it, the artwork. But as far as the instrument's not worth that much, and I have a feeling the statue is probably not.
Yeah.
Worth that much.
So I just want to throw this out there. If you look up Final Fantasy statue or Final Fantasy figure, you could right now get from Amazon, you could get a statue of Sephiroth with his hair billowing out with the full Musmane behind him for 110 US dollars. You could get the Cloud Strife from Kingdom Hearts with the full wings and the banded sword for 129 US dollars. You could get the Vincent Valentine with the cloak all dynamic with all his different weapons for 73.99 USD.
What is she made out of?
The Terra statue, I believe it's resin. Let me double check.
You serious? They printed it? 11,000. If you tell me it's marble or something, I might change my mind a little bit. Like, no, somebody worked on this for a long time to put away the marble.
There's only going to be 600 of them made, by the way. Just noticed that while I was looking for what it's made out of.
Right. That's.
It doesn't say.
I bet it doesn't. That's. Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
I'm kind of wondering though, with this price and this particular character, if there's something I'm missing, maybe even culturally across.
Terra's very popular.
Because this wasn't 6 in Japan.
This was 6 in Japan.
Okay.
See, it was 3 for us.
That's
the confusing part, yeah.
Yes. Okay, yes. Final Fantasy.
Okay, sorry. It's made of polystone.
Polystone?
Yeah.
Look,
some other materials such as PVC, ABS, and die-cast are being used.
Polystone. We use different stuff.
Yeah.
Goodness.
So, it's something. It's something.
I
can't. There is no universe where I can buy this.
No. Look, I would understand if it's like this is $600. I'd be like, golly, that's a lot. But this is like,
I do want to throw out here real quick that it's really funny to me that Terra is Tina, I believe, in the original version, or Tina for us. Let me double check. Because she's Tina in Japanese. When you auto translate the website, it still uses Tina, but then has like Terra in little caps, which I think it's a nice touch. But yeah, if it was 1,594, that might be, it'd still be a lot. It'd still be more than I could spend, but I would consider it for half a second, right?
Yeah. I just thought, crazy.
I think
crazy.
the dumbest thing to me too is like, if I want a really good video game statue, right? If I want an incredible Final Fantasy statue, if I go for like the best of the best here, I'm talking like Aerith on the platform. Where is that statue? I know I've seen it. Or the Omega statues from Final Fantasy 14 that are like crazy good.
Well, they've done a couple of releases of the Behemoth from 7 that were outstanding.
The Cloud statue on the bike is currently going for like 3,000 because it was a limited run.
Yeah.
The Omega one is going for $229. The Aerith one is sold out, but when it was selling was going for $300. All of those are way more reasonable to me than.
Well, not only that, and that's what I was saying. I realize she's a popular character, but and it's probably just my bias here. If I'm going to spend that much, it would probably been Sephiroth or Cloud.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe Tifa. I don't know. You
can get a Tifa for $154 US on Amazon. Just throwing it out there.
That's bizarre.
How big is it? It is. Let me get the size again. I had it up a second ago.
78 centimeters.
78 centimeters. Yeah, 78 centimeters. Which, for anybody who doesn't know,
put it in freedom unit, man. Come on.
2.5 feet.
2.5 hamburgers per mile.
2.5 feet. I'm curious, is there an Axel statue? Axel Kingdom Hearts statue? And if there is, how much is it?
I want Zach. I want the Zach statue. That's the one I want.
Axel, you can get him for $165 on Amazon. Let's see Zach Fair. Zach Fair statue. There has to be a Zach Fair statue, right?
I mean, come on, dude. I know he's not, in 7 long, but it doesn't work without. I don't want to say it's like the first part of it almost centers around that whole thing.
There is a Zach Fair statue. It's $534.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Man, I kind of want that Zach too. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
Oh. No, this is too much. This is too much money to expect somebody to pay for a statue. And there'll be people that pay it. That's the worst part. There absolutely will.
I'm sure.
If you're gonna do that though, instead of buying that, just buy the tiny little Alphino from Final Fantasy 14 that is like this big. He's so cute. Just get him instead. He's $54. I'm sorry, he's $86. I was looking at the shipping. He's $86 plus $54 shipping. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Do you want Sephiroth calling down the meteor? Because that's $175.
That wouldn't be too bad. Or summoning Excalibur.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
Knights
of the Round. Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'm just saying, like, look, I love Terra. She's a great character. She absolutely is. She's not the best character in FF6. Kill me, I know. Kefka's the best character in FF6. But, like, no, I'm not. No. I'm sorry.
No, that's too much.
You know what, Square? Instead of putting out this statue, why don't you put out a good PC port of FF6? Huh? Where's FF6 remake?
Ugh. Yeah, we got. Yeah, that one doesn't. It's kind of weird. That's kind of like the Oblivion thing, really.
Yeah.
I know 6 gets over, and I do it too. Gets overshadowed by 7,
Right.
because there's a jump in like things.
Right.
But yeah, I guess maybe that's why.
Probably.
Because we've got umpteen billion Skyrim ports, right? Or
Yeah.
Skyrim re-releases, but no Oblivion one.
Right.
That's just
And
weird.
it's weird because I'm one of those people that stands out and says, hey, yeah, I love 7, even though people say it's overhyped. And you are too.
Yeah.
But 6 is probably a better game. I just like 7 more.
I don't know.
It's tough to call because I think 6 has better build diversity among the characters.
Yeah. But see, I also know.
Cast of 7's so good.
Yeah. It's just, I think it's all the extra stuff in 7.
Yeah.
And I know there's extra stuff in stuff you can get or side stuff in every Final, even the first one.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, you didn't have to go get the rat tail.
You just reminded me I forgot to talk about my week, but I met the Dark Elf in Strangers of Paradise.
Oh.
Final Fantasy Origin.
Yeah.
There's some stuff going on in that game. I'm still playing it. It's got, just a real quick aside on Strangers of Paradise. It's got a really cool feature that I like a lot, where I bought it PS4, PS5, same version, right? So in the office, I play it on PS5. But I can take and upload my save and then play it in the living room on the PS4 by downloading it, which is really cool to me. More games need that.
Yeah. The more, I don't think, because there's different game companies that have tried this. It doesn't always work right. And I think Microsoft's tried to do it over where you can play on anything, right? But I don't know that the saves go over like that.
Right.
I don't think they do.
I don't think so either.
I'm thinking about it.
And that's an easy way to force it, is to go, yeah, I know that I'm going to overwrite my local save, but I'm going to download the one that I want.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good game. Speaking of Sony, too, with some weird stuff, Sony is going to force game trials on some devs.
Yeah.
And what this means, let me clear out my tabs here now that we've covered some of this news. What this means is that we're going to be getting, at some point, trials for games that are over a certain amount of money. And for anybody who doesn't know, a trial is like a 3-hour trial or a 2-hour trial that lets you just play the game for free. A lot of people have been asking for Sony to do what Steam does, where you can just refund a game. They're not going to do that. They have no incentive to do that.
No.
But I think this is a good step in that direction, to be like, hey, if your game's over like $40, you have to make a trial. And they're also not just giving the devs more work immediately, because the stipulation is the trial needs to be available within 3 months of the game's launch and must remain for at least 12 months. So it doesn't have to come out right away. You have up to 3 months to put it out. But
okay,
we'll see how it shakes out. Could be cool.
Well, for a lot of developers, that's probably just going to be like, okay, here's the game with a time code in it.
Yep. Here's the first 2 hours of the game.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah. It I think is a good step, because again, Sony has no reason to give a refund policy. So I'm glad that they're doing this, because right now you can get a refund if they decide to let you after you talk to their support.
Yeah. And also, they've got to do something to catch up with Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
You have, Game Pass on the Xbox pretty much done away with demos.
Right.
I mean, yeah, they take games off of it.
Right.
So if you played a game they take off, well, you're gonna go buy it.
Right, because you knew you liked it.
But it's the whole, it's the whole game.
Right.
And sometimes the DLC. So
Yeah.
they got to do something. And I think you're right. This is a step in the right direction with it.
We'll see how it all shakes out too, because the new PS Plus subscription stuff will be rolling out soon. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Well, from here we have our 3 stories, which I'm
Okay.
glad we had them ready because I felt like this is how things would go.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So you're gonna have to give a little background
Yeah.
on the first one there.
Yeah. So let's talk about Quantum TV and Elden Ring. So we don't normally talk about other YouTubers on here, but this YouTuber is, in my own wording here, possibly losing their mind. And so let me give you the backdrop. Quantum TV is a guy that does TV reviews. He calls himself the #1 brand in honesty, and he reviews televisions. That's fine. That's normal. Do what you want to do, right? He made a
Yeah.
review on Elden Ring, which is fine. Do what you want to do. He didn't like the game very much, which again is fine. People are allowed to do whatever they want. They don't like the game, that's fine. He made a review about a game he doesn't like. His biggest complaint seemed to be that he didn't understand how the lock-on worked, but either way, hey, I'm not going to critique somebody's gameplay because, everybody
Yeah.
plays at different levels. He made some very inflammatory statements in his review about people that like Elden Ring.
That's necessary.
Right. He basically said, if you like the game, then you must have hundreds of hours to grind on it, which means you don't have friends and you don't have family and nobody loves you.
The speed run's 7 minutes.
Right. And by the end of his review, he had said, and at the end of the day, if you don't agree with me, if you like this game, kill yourself.
Yeah.
This
Yep.
would be the first tell of many with this man. Where do we go from here? At this point, people didn't like this very much, right? People were a little upset
Yes.
and told him so in the comments. This man, I believe, I have no proof of this. I believe this man deletes comments that he doesn't like and has it set to where he has to approve comments. And has recently started turning comments off on a couple of his videos.
Really?
Anyway, a channel called Mischief reviewed his review. That's what Mischief does. He reviews video reviews on YouTube,
Nice.
which is fair use, by the way, so everybody knows. Transformative content, fair use. He would often pause the video and talk about it and give his thoughts on it. Describe why what Quantum TV was saying was wrong. This guy Mischief then had his video taken down with a copyright notice
Yep.
because it turns out Quantum TV had false flagged it, saying that Mischief had stolen his content and was abusing fair use, which is not correct. It's fair use. Transformative content is how fair use works. For the sake of critique is literally in the fair use law.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yes.
Nobody's stealing anything. It's not piracy. And he claimed that Mischief used third-party illegal software to download the video. So at this point, Mischief lets people know, hey, my video's been false flagged. And people make a big stink about it. And Mischief channel is okay. The false flag gets removed. Quantum TV deletes his Elden Ring video. That's fine. Man has the right to do that, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Quantum TV goes on to talk more about Mischief and calls him a kid in his next video because he finds out he's 16. This leads to other people who would not have gotten involved. It was done. It was over. Making videos about Quantum TV, who then has to respond to all of those people as well, talking bad about all of them. And what this comes down to is eventually Actman makes a video on it. And this is where our story takes a turn.
Yeah.
Actman makes a video on it, which isn't even just about Quantum TV. It's about a bunch of other people playing Elden Ring as well. And their reviews. And that video is titled The Worst Takes on Elden Ring, right? So Quantum TV sends a false flag notice to that video. Says that his work has been stolen, it's piracy, and actually YouTube recommended that he do this. So Actman is a much bigger channel than all the other channels that Quantum TV has been going after. And basically goes, hey, no, that's not right. You can't do that. If you don't remove your false flag, well, we're going to court. You're committing a crime. You're lying and false flags. This is literally a crime. Yeah. And Quantum TV removes the false flag, I believe, and then goes on to make a video and talk about stuff again with Elden Ring haters just coming after him. At this point, we find out some pretty interesting things. Stuff that, when I put this on the docket yesterday, was not confirmed, has been confirmed today. Quantum TV went and found out Actman's information, like hunted down Actman's personal information, and sent a message to Actman's mother to tell his mother what a bad boy he was being.
Oh, God.
Actman claims that these messages threatened his mother and that his mother was very concerned and showed what could be true, could not be. I'm going to both sides here, right? I'm on the outside. I don't know for sure. But what seems to be Actman's own mother telling him to be careful with this guy. He's insane. Quantum TV has said, I didn't threaten her at all. This was no reason to bring threats into this. You're the one threatening violence, because Actman said, if you show up at my house, I will shoot you. Which that's, but it's between them. But if don't show up to somebody's house unannounced, threatening them, that's all I'm saying. So now Actman is getting ready to take Quantum TV to court, and Quantum TV seems ready to take Actman to court because he's now claiming that Actman has threatened him and that Actman has threatened his livelihood, when in reality it's Quantum TV that has threatened Actman's livelihood by false flagging him, which is illegal. And because of this... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
What state... Do we know what state the court...
I do not know.
Okay.
I do not know. Because of this, the internet has turned on Quantum TV, and more information has come out. Quantum TV had a previous YouTube channel that got banned. He's ban evading, and he's talking in his Discord about how he's ban evading, which is against YouTube's terms of service.
Yeah.
For anybody who doesn't know, when you get banned on YouTube, YouTube's rules literally state if it's found out that you had a channel that got banned and you made a new one, they will ban the new one too.
Yeah.
Then we come to find out that, look, I'm not here to talk about people's character. I'm just going to throw this out here. Quantum TV said some really not okay stuff about some a lesbian couple in a video game, and basically said that he wished they had been at the Pulse shooting, the Pulse nightclub shooting. This man is losing his mind over all of this, sending false flags to a bunch of different channels, ban evading, talking about how all the people that don't like him are Satanists.
Yeah.
All over an Elden Ring review.
Well, that escalated quickly. I mean, it got out of hand fast.
And so who knows where this is going to go from here, right? There was a whole thing where Actman leaked the DMs between him and Quantum TV, where Quantum TV was like, tell me what your problem is. And Actman didn't immediately respond, so Quantum TV sent a paragraph of then I'll tell you what the problem is. You're stealing my content, and it's against the law. And refused to get into a voice call, wanted everything in writing, because he's definitely going to try and take these people to court. I don't know how many people have made videos just to explain to him how YouTube's copyright system works and how fair use works, and none of it seems to get through. They're all just Satanists, I guess.
Yeah, that's what it is.
We'll be Satanists too in his eyes, I'm sure. If he sees this, I'd love to talk to you about all this, but something tells me you're not going to think that I'm going to be fair and objective on this based on how I've mentioned the story. I just don't have a lot of patience for people that go, hey, I wish you were dead because of the, way that you are. or people that go, hey, this child he's 16-year-old and has a YouTube channel and he's, trying to do his own thing and he doesn't have a lot of subs. I'm going to copyright strike him.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he's a little guy. Guess what? Mischief now has more subs than Quantum TV.
Right. It always backfires like this.
It does.
It's when not too long ago, the computer company that's no longer around,
right?
On their live stream was like, that one girl had done everything but didn't have enough followers.
Right.
The thing. And
guess what?
J 2 Cent stepped up.
Yep.
On that. He built her computer. Just point that out.
It's great. So yeah, if you want to just watch some fun content, watch some of these breakdowns that Quantum TV's breakdown, and it's something. The guy is now trying to claim that, well, actually, when I told you to kill yourselves, I meant in the game, because that's the point of the game, right? Is to die a lot. So I was just telling you to go off and do your own thing, and I'll do my own thing. It's like, no. If that was what you meant, you definitely should have clarified.
Well, I mean, you're not doing. Yeah, right. You should clarify, and that is weak.
Yeah.
It's look, if it's a stand-up comedian, maybe make some dark humor.
Right.
That's one thing.
Yes.
But you're doing a review.
Mm-hmm.
I can't extend to you that that
right.
grace period. It's like if you don't want to be talked about, don't sit up front row. Stand-up comedy.
Exactly.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
And
you're not doing that.
It would have been so easy to say, hey, I just don't like the game. Here's my problems with the game.
Yeah.
You don't have to go after people and then get defensive when they clap back.
Right. Can't take it.
Right. It's ridiculous. Like, oh, so it's okay for me to tell you to kill yourself, but it's not okay for you to be upset by it?
Right. Gosh.
Doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah. Again, if you're criticizing something, criticize the thing. Don't criticize the people that like it. And I say that as somebody that will criticize the Smash community. I'm criticizing those people not because they like Smash. I'm criticizing those people because they allowed rampant abuse and terrible things to be done to minors. There's a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because the game's bad doesn't know. But it just, man, this is nuts. I don't understand how you go from, yeah, I don't like this game, to, yeah, and if you like this game, you should die.
See, because it's not. You can't argue that, man. I'm stuck on that point, man. It just bothers me because it's not. What a bullcrap weak argument. Well, obviously this guy's a bully, right?
Right.
He gets real defensive against anybody that's bigger than him, and it's just, man. And I don't understand. Just especially because I think there's some things he's lied about.
Right. Yeah. A couple things.
And not only lied about it, but sent a text and got it in writing.
Yeah.
Or
it's just, again, the one that gets me bragging about how he's ban evading.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
You really think you're that much smarter than everybody else?
Right.
That you can pull this bluff?
Yeah.
Because I promise you, when you get in front of a judge, you're not going to care.
No. There is no way, because again, he doesn't understand how fair use works. There is no way when he gets before a judge is going to go, oh, I never thought about it that way. You're right. It is piracy. It is piracy.
Good. Oh, man. Could you imagine the precedent?
Ugh. And we'd have to go back and retroactively, like, copyright strike every YouTube channel, basically.
It couldn't, yeah. YouTube couldn't exist.
Yeah. The Fine Brothers? Sorry.
Well, I
don't understand.
This, yeah, no, it's out of hand, absolutely ridiculous. The people just get so full of themselves.
And again, for anybody who's like, hey, you guys don't normally talk about YouTube drama, I agree. We normally don't. But this is one of those situations where this man is flagrantly, no, that's not the word. Flagrantly, that's the word. Haha. Maybe he smells good. I don't know. He's flagrantly like abusing a system that hurts every YouTuber. Like we don't go after copyright strikes for people. We don't do that.
No.
That kills all of us.
Yeah, not without legitimacy.
Right. None of us have protection against that other than each other.
Yeah.
So,
especially when you're a small YouTuber, because everybody, you should know how this works. You got to convince the people that, gave you the strike that they're wrong.
Every YouTuber has had someone that doesn't own the video claim they own the video, and there's nothing you can do about it if YouTube won't have your back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is one of those situations where I'm firmly of the opinion the more people talking about this, the higher the chance that YouTube will have to do something. Because they still haven't. YouTube knows he's ban evading and still hasn't done anything about it.
There's a few things YouTube hasn't done anything about.
Yeah. On the plus side, if you download extensions that let you see dislikes, his videos are getting crazy dislikes about when he's talking bad about Mischief or Actman or Review Tech USA or any of those.
Yeah. It's kind of... oh, man. It's kind of rough on some of those videos when you're like, well, it's got a few likes on here.
Yeah.
And then, you see it with the Chrome extension or, I don't know if they got
10.3 thousand dislikes.
Oh. Okay.
So, yeah. It's so weird, man. It's okay to say, I don't like this game. I understand why other people do. I just don't like it. Another one of his arguments in his initial review was, this game's not made for everybody, so it shouldn't have been made.
That's stupid.
Such a dumb argument. He reviews TVs. Should they not make TVs because some people are blind? That's not how that works.
No. No. Oh, man. People, man. People.
Yeah. I don't get it.
Me neither.
I also don't get this next thing we're going to talk about.
Okay. Yeah. I have been inundated and wrapped up in this. It is like a train wreck.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you do the opposite, like what I just did. I'm gonna give it to you. Give us the backdrop here on this.
Okay. Now look, when I first heard that Johnny Depp might abuse Amber Heard, I was going, I gotta have more.
I need more information.
Yeah, which was not a popular stance.
Right.
Going to see that.
Because hey, I'll be the first one to say, if he did it, look, that's a problem.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. But the further this thing go, have you seen Gone Girl? Have you seen the movie Gone Girl? Okay, this is out. Yeah, that's what this is. It's absolutely insane, and her legal team is so inept.
Yeah,
the one of her lawyers objected to a question that he asked.
Yeah, they keep playing evidence that's shooting them in the foot.
Yeah, and they keep trying to twist stuff, and they had this. Man, and there's so when you start seeing it, there's so many times, and it kind of goes back to the last story in a little bit of way, because there's so many times when she could have stopped this.
Yeah, absolutely.
She could have prevented this.
Mm-hmm. I think the thing that gets me about it is that the story is right there to go, hey, well, we're both at fault. But that's not what she's pushing for.
No, and what's there's a video and there's an audio recording of her and Johnny Depp, Miss Heard and Mr. Depp talking about that, and he's like, look, we'll write a letter, we'll say, that we're working on our issues and we'd like some privacy, and we'll both take the blame.
Yeah.
And through the whole thing, she's like, well, I don't know if I'll ever get my credibility back.
Right.
And
if you're worried about your credibility, maybe you have the problem then.
Well, obviously, she's got to take the stand.
Right.
Right. And I'm keeping that. I'm trying to, I want to be fair.
Right.
As I can be, but
so hard right now.
It is. It's not just the evidence, because this is all from cross-examination that they're making.
Right.
That this is coming out. The evidence against her is coming from cross-examination from her lawyers, and it's like surreal.
It is.
and I don't know. I think, and I'm kind of torn because obviously, in my humble opinion, there's something wrong with Miss Heard
Right.
mentally. Okay, and that doesn't need to be punished
Right.
necessarily.
And it definitely didn't need to be publicized.
Right. But on the other hand, you can't. There's got to be some kind of recompense. It seems for
you can't just get away with this either.
Yeah, for trying to ruin somebody's life. So I don't know, man. It's just like I said, I kind of got sucked up into it today, and it's just the more I hear it, it's sad.
It is. It really is.
It's not. And man, look, there's a lot of YouTubers. I am sure a lot of views right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, good. Good on them. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's not the Will Smith slap this week. All right.
Right. Yeah.
So, and the the sad part of it, or I think the part that I keep going back to is when you hear these audio recordings, and like Johnny's no saint, Mr. Depp's no saint,
for sure,
right? You go back and listen to him, it's like so many times that he gives her a way out.
Yeah, so many times he asked her to leave. Hey, give me some space.
Yeah, or he'll try to leave. He would try to leave. Or it would be, like I said, that conversation was like, hey, look, we can salvage this.
Right.
We can do something. It's just really bizarre.
And don't get me wrong, I think the video of him like destroying that room in anger is like, guess what? Yeah, that's not a great thing.
No.
But I'm not going to defend him on it because I'll be the first one to say you should be able to control your temper when your loved one's in the room. But she wouldn't leave.
No, and she wouldn't let him.
She wouldn't let him leave, and she wouldn't leave.
But no, what happened was his finance managers hadn't been paying taxes for him for the past 17 years.
Yep.
So he had just found out that he has to pay $100 million in back taxes.
Yeah, which is understandable why he'd be mad.
Mad, yeah. Like I said, beating up the cabinets, maybe not the best luck, but
right.
But then again, man, that's gonna, if you slam the cabinets, breathing, you're gonna calm down.
Yeah, who hasn't slammed a door when they're angry?
Yeah,
I'm a firm believer you shouldn't do that in front of your loved ones if at all possible.
Yeah,
but again, she wouldn't let him leave, and she wouldn't leave. So,
and if your loved one, if you love somebody and they're going through that, you don't film them.
No, why would you ever film them doing that?
You don't film them and try to and hide the camera and get all that set up.
I agree. It really felt like it was set up on purpose to be able to catch that moment.
Oh yeah.
Which is like, again, I'm with you. He's not perfect by far, but
yeah. Well, it's and look, man, with what came out today, I don't know how she's going to get away without criminal charges because some of the photographs from what the testimony is of what happened a certain night in the hallway up in the penthouses, there's photographs, the timestamps, don't line up to her version of events. Mm-hmm. And it's the timestamps on the picture because I'm not going to go into detail of it. There's plenty of videos out there out it, but I will say this so you can kind of get an idea. A lot of the pictures had clocks in them. Yeah. So when they're putting together, the story of what happened that night, they had they had a timeline. Mm-hmm. And the time that she's saying everything happened, well, the police that were called were already in the building, so they were already in the hallway. They were talking to her at the time that in court, or what she said, everything happened. So I don't know, it's really...
Somebody didn't watch enough episodes of Law and Order to see that clocks in the pictures matter.
Yeah, well, it's lie after lie after lie, and it's I don't know, man.
And that's what I come back to for me is if she is innocent, if she has done no wrong, why is she lying so much?
Yeah. And
yeah,
and look, I'm not an expert on this, but there's usually a pattern of behavior.
Right.
There'd be signs of it throughout the years. And yeah, maybe it was, maybe it's hid, I don't know.
Yeah.
But somebody, it would have got out somehow, somewhere,
Yeah.
I mean, there was
Hollywood hides stuff well, but eventually it winds up being known.
Well, if you go back and look at another terrible case of the Mr. Bill Cosby, and the stuff that he did, Hollywood, there was people that knew.
Yeah, it was an open secret in Hollywood for sure.
Yeah, Family Guy made a joke about it.
Right. It was just the rest of us didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Harvey Weinstein, the same way. Open secret.
Yeah. So I think if it had got to this point, somebody would have stepped up.
Yeah, I think so.
And instead, witnesses that were originally on her side are not anymore.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like I said, it's bizarre. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Just the whole debacle. And yeah, at the end of the day, when looking at everything, stepping back and looking through, and not only have to go through all that, but then have have it shown to everybody that you went through all that.
Right.
It's at the end of the day, it's kind of sad.
I agree. I agree. Oh, you want to move on to this third story?
Yeah, let's do the third story, man, because I can't quit laughing about this.
Yeah. Elon Musk's buying Twitter.
Who does this? Well, you know what? I don't like the way you're doing that. I'm just going to buy it.
I think the funny thing to me is that like a week ago, he tweeted out asking people to tell him how he could fix world hunger, and he'd do it. And he got a bunch of people being like, hey, you could donate to this cause. You could try and help farmlands in Africa. You could try and help irrigate land in India. And his response is, all right, I'm going to buy Twitter. Like, I don't think that fixes anything there, but okay.
Well, there's a few. Well, I can't think in that terms as far as money goes. I mean,
right.
That just doesn't work.
Yeah, 44 billion, right?
Yeah. No, I don't even. I can't. I got paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny because he got a lot of flack about well, pay your fair share of taxes, and he sold off a lot of his Tesla stock and paid like $11 billion in taxes.
Yeah.
On that. And then he got some more flack, and this, from this other thing, he said, hey, for $6 billion, we can end world hunger.
Right.
And his response was, if you prove to me that will end world hunger, I will sign the check.
Right.
So he may be absolutely nuts, which he might be a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's just the craziest. Like I said, the 44 billion. I'm just going to buy Twitter.
I think the thing that like really boggles my mind about it is that most likely the reason he wanted to do this is because his tweets started getting the like Twitter deal that says like this information may need to be fact checked.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why he bought it. That he was like, my tweets don't need to be fact checked. If I say something, it has to be true.
I don't know, because I don't see many people who own a business saying, hey, I want my worst haters on here.
I agree. And that is one thing that I want to throw out for all the people that are panicking. He did release a tweet that said, hey, I still care about free speech. People that hate me can still talk. Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just a wild thing. It's just shocking that much money. I want to go back to, sorry, Waver, I didn't see your question while we were talking about it, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's so true.
I believe so. I believe you're right.
Yeah. We both have been a little negligent in chat tonight. I'm sorry. We've been having some fun conversations and focused on it. And it's really bad for me because I have chat up twice directly in front of me, and I've just been looking at this monitor instead. No, just people, of course, are panicking and being like, "Oh, he's gonna change Twitter to whatever he wants it to be," and like, look, maybe if so, we'll see, but realistically, I think he just wanted to own Twitter.
Possibly. It might be. But he also, he also said, okay, they're locked down the code right now. They don't want anybody who may be upset sabotaging anything.
Yeah.
But he said his goal was he wanted that to go open source.
Yeah.
To get it out. So I don't know, man. It's just an interesting time because there's so much, right? Twitter is the smallest by far of all the social.
Right. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, they're all much bigger.
Much bigger. But Twitter's the loudest.
Yeah.
But there has been Twitter's had an upsurge in users.
It has. And Facebook is bleeding users. So
yeah.
People got to go somewhere. I did see a lot of people being like, well, if he changes it for the worst, where are we going to go? And people were like, we can go back to Tumblr. And it's like, all right, look, no. If something happens to Twitter and it's not usable anymore, I'm going to gather my news through Google. I'm done with social media. I'm not doing it anymore. I'll go back to Reddit. Not to be an active user, but just to read articles and get news. No, I'll be the first one to say I'm not a huge fan of Elon Musk. I think that I'm not a huge fan of people that have enough money to throw around and that, how do I word this? Know they have enough money to throw around and enjoy they have that money to throw around. Like they're very public about how much money they have and they talk about it all the time. I'm one of those people that are like, hey, if you got a lot of money, just either keep it to yourself or, be doing a lot of cool stuff for people. Don't make a bunch of promises and then not do it, like the Flint water stuff. But at the same time, we'll see how things go. He gave a lot of people jobs, so.
What? I also find it all of a sudden, and this is why I'm neither Republican or Democrat, where we don't talk politics too much.
Right.
All of a sudden, the other side is talking about Section 230 now.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah, you kind of like him because he's weird. That's fair. I also, I'll admit part of my dislike is what he named his child. Why would you do that to a child? What's wrong with you?
It's so bizarre.
But again, the man's given a lot of people jobs, so.
Yeah, they, and of course, he moved Tesla to Texas.
Yeah.
So there's a movement for him to move the Twitter headquarters.
Texas too?
Yeah.
Texas Twitter. Want to be on Twitter, you got to put on a cowboy hat.
Oh, my gosh.
What do you name his child? Hold on, I'll get the exact line here. All right. Let's see. How do you pronounce it? It is...
Oh, I don't know. Look up and see if your screen froze there for a second.
I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Okay.
Can you just type it out?
So I think I have it. It's XAX12. XAX12. And the typed out version in the chat is this.
Want to see this?
Please tell me they just call him Ash.
Yeah.
Hey, don't do that to your children. That's all I'm saying. Please be good to your kids. The world's bad enough already without you doing that to them. Right. Maybe he's the 12th. He's the 7th child, actually, which makes it even more confusing to me. But what are the other kids' names? I have to know now.
Find out.
Next time. Dragon Ball. So, the first one is Nevada Alexander.
Okay.
Then there's Griffith and Xavier.
Okay.
Then Kai, Saxon, and Damien.
Saxon?
Yep.
All right.
And the last one is XASH12.
Okay. Saxon. That's
So,
interesting.
the 12th one with that name? I don't think so, but maybe. So yeah, he's a weird man who does weird things, including buying Twitter. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think I just buy it.
I would like to announce at this point that the Full Spectrum channel is also up for sale for $44 billion. Elon Musk, if you would like to reach out.
Yes. 100%.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Just bad.
Yeah, I'll throw in my music.
Right?
Dude,
Need all of it.
Get it all.
But that brings it up to 45 billion. That's all I'm saying. Your music's worth another billion.
Right on.
Eon Flux. Yeah, Eon Flux, honestly, like, the kid's name could be Eon. There'll be a couple people make fun of him, right? But most people will be like, oh, that's a cool name. They won't know how to spell it. They'll think it's EON, but it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But nobody's, like, all I'm saying is the teacher that has to read that off in roll call is every day going to be like,
Yeah, oh my God.
Sashay
like
12.
be her tutor at her private residence.
Right? So yeah, if I had that kind of money thrown around, I would not have bought Twitter. I don't think it's worth that. I think it's a cesspool. But I'm on it, so who knows?
Sorry.
I maybe would have bought like Frigidaire or something for that kind of money, you know?
Oh my gosh.
Every room in my house now has a unit.
Yeah.
Buy Dyson for that kind of money, you know? I'm gonna buy the rights back to Macross from Harmony Gold.
Well, there's like just some other things that are like Jack Dorsey's response.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen anybody so happy to get out from underneath the business they created.
Look, for that much money, I don't blame anybody.
Well, no, I mean he already bought out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He already got bought out. You know, so it's just there's some weird stuff on it. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, at the end of the day, maybe nothing.
Yeah. That's what I expect, is nothing's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I've been hearing is he's going to let Trump back on. And I understand if you're upset about that, but I doubt he won't. He's not going to come back.
Right.
He's too egotistical. No, you don't get me. I don't come back.
Well, and even if he did, he's not president anymore. What's it matter? Just block him. Move on.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like my view, right? We're very, very free speech.
Right.
There's a lot of people out there that say some really, really stupid stuff.
Oh yeah.
But if they start getting blocked, then the people that start saying intelligent things get blocked. Well, they already are.
Yeah.
And it's,
I just mean if it's going to cause you actual like duress.
Yeah.
You don't have to see their stuff. They don't have to be taken off the platform. It works. They have the right to say it. You have the right to walk away.
Y'all would never survive when FM radio was a thing.
Yeah, no, I agree though. I think echo chambers are a different problem, and Twitter's one of those places where echo chambers are a problem.
Absolutely. Yeah. And yeah. That's the problem with I think most social media platforms right now. Because they group you up together.
Mm-hmm.
They want to give you stuff that upsets you.
Yeah.
They want to get you engaged.
You know, another big issue that I think Twitter has that I think is kind of unique among social medias. And this is far less serious, but it still happens. I guess it's still just as serious. It's for a less serious topic. It happens most of the time. But somebody will put out like an image of like a Super Sentai series or a video game, and they'll be like, "Man, I love this thing." And because of the way that Twitter algorithms work, it'll wind up on your feed. And there's almost always somebody being like, "Yeah, well, what about this thing? Why do you hate this thing?"
Yeah.
Like they didn't.
Man, this banana's good.
Say that.
Why do you hate pears?
Exactly. Like they didn't say that though. Or people that'll go, "Yeah, well, you like it. I hate it." It's like, why did you come here just to say that? It's like, imagine it in the real world. You walked into a bookstore. You found someone saying, "Man, I love Jane Austen," and somebody else walks up to you and goes, "Oh yeah, well, I love J.R.R. Tolkien." It's like, good for you.
You know, another thing I found really, really funny is somebody, I can't remember who it was. Um, the everything. Well, this is just gonna let the trolls back on
Right.
Twitter. It's like the trolls never left.
That's
Well,
right. The trolls are still here. It's like everybody thinks they have main character syndrome or something. You know who thinks they have main character syndrome? Quantum TV.
Yeah, yeah,
And Elon Musk, probably.
probably.
Oh.
But
Definitely
see,
Jeff Bezos.
that's a character. That's a character.
Yeah. Oh.
But,
We should
but
probably
that kind of
go.
brings.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, we'll wrap. I was just
Yeah,
trying
go
to
ahead,
think.
go ahead.
You know, of the 3 I can think of right now: Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, and Elon Musk.
Hmm.
If I think about which one of them I'd rather have on Twitter, I'm probably going to stick with Elon Musk
Yeah, I agree.
on that. So, good thing, bad thing is the only time will tell.
Right.
A social network goes down, it's not going to be the end of the world.
That's right. Calm down, everybody. It's going to be okay.
Yeah, probably should be a better place. But anyway, I don't have a story tonight, but I do have happy birthdays.
Yeah.
One to Marcus Aurelius, which I don't think he'll be watching, and
Probably not.
the other one to Kane the wrestler.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's watching. You know,
Oh, yeah.
He'd be looking down at his computer. That guy's huge.
Yeah, he would respond and let chat know that he does in fact like a cookie and would love one right now, but
Yeah.
it would go against his image, so he's not going to type in chat.
Fair enough. Any plugs, Bubba?
I just remembered this. We'll get into plugs, but I got asked
What?
if we were going to talk about the Sesame Street mecha thing. And it's like, look, there's not really anything to say about it. It's just Sesame Street has a new like derivative segment on their channel or on their show where
Mm.
Cookie Monster is a super robot, Elmo is a real robot. Like, it's cool, but it's not like the mecha community went nuts over it. Cause it's like, yeah, it's
It's fine.
it's cool, but there's not really anything to say about it other than it exists.
This is not like the Ninja Turtle anime thing, right?
No.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
You know,
Yeah, all I'm
like,
saying is if Cookie Monster like does this and then a beam fires out of his chest, then
Yeah.
I have something to talk about.
Okay.
But up until that point,
Like, crossovers get weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can think of one weirder than the Turtles one though.
if Cookie Monster did that, would the attack be called Cookie Fire or Breast Monster? Because the ability's called Breast Fire. It's probably Cookie Fire or Cookie
think so.
Beam. They'll probably just go Cookie Beam.
I think so. And just for the record, chat, don't Google breast monster.
For sure.
Oh.
For sure. All I'm saying is at some point we got to have our Ava or our Getter that's like version where Snuffleupagus comes out and he's all eldritch.
Of course he would be.
Yeah.
Snuffleupagus would definitely be a warlock.
Yeah. And then he
Or
goes,
would he be Big Bird's
Snuffleupagus
patron?
Beam! Look, if Big Bird's yellow, right? If he walks out and he's gold Lytan and he's got the big box,
Hey,
and then you hear Kawaunda, Kawaunda, I'm in. I'll watch every episode.
isn't there a new Godzilla coming out this year with Mecha Godzilla?
Shin Godzilla, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't dream that. I did see that.
Shin Ultraman's coming this year too. Happy dance time. Yeah, plug wise, I guess I'll plug the stuff on Quantum TV. I've been watching a lot of it. And that's been my watch stuff while you've been watching the trial.
Gotcha.
Check out Ackman's video. Check out Review Tech USA's video. Check out Quantum TV's video. Get the full context. Go for it. Check out Mischief's video. Why not? They're all something, to be sure. And again, like just to make sure this is very clear, if you don't like Elden Ring, that's fine. I actually understand fully why someone might not like that game. That game is
Yeah.
weird. I love it. It's one of the best games I've ever played. But I get it, right? You're free to express that you don't like something. Just don't
Well,
go
it's just-
after people when you do.
It's just like games, are just like movies or music, art. It's not going to click with everybody.
Yeah, exactly. So,
You know?
you have any plugs this week?
No, I just want to thank everybody for watching, sticking with us, and we don't have much to 1,000.
8 subs
What?
away.
It'd be really nice, very nice. 8 subs away.
Yeah.
So if you can give us a subscribe, we really appreciate it. We're like close there, and look, took thousands and thousands of years and millions of people to make you, and never been anything like you, and there will be again. So thank you for spending this time with us.
100%. 100%. Well, like I said, got a cool new series coming up on the channel. Probably Thursday will be when that goes up, as long as I can get it edited tomorrow.
Okay.
And then, of course, Thursday night, we have the D&D podcast. We got some cool stuff coming up there. And then next week, of course, we'll be back for this podcast and the D&D podcast. And more cool videos coming up, more Guild Wars content, more the usual stuff. Gundam Evolution be getting a full release soon. So probably do some videos on that. And yeah, just kind of a lot coming up.
Right on.
But until next time, I've been Trey.
I've been Rungren.
We've been the Full Spectrum Podcast. And remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that life has to offer.